to this epic disaster. Today, we're talking about sex.
We are talking about sex. It's our sex show.
It's a sex show. And Rick, you seem tired or just upset with me or like
I'm
frustrated.
all of those. I'm tired of you and I'm upset with you.
Why are you these things? I don't understand. We're talking about sex. We should be upbeat because sex is fun.
We've been talking about doing this for quite a while. This is going to be our sex trivia, sex facts show.
Yes.
So let's do a little disclaimer up front. If your kids ever listen to the show,
Don't let them.
why do they? Why would you do that to
Why?
your kids? You're an irresponsible parent. But
You should never have had sex.
I can understand how maybe sometimes you might be listening in the car and there. This show is probably one you might not want them to.
How about don't?
Maybe you don't care, but it's just a warning. This might get a little explicit because we're going to be talking about sex.
Instead of letting them listen to your show, pop their headphones on in the back seat with the little screen that is in all the minivans now and let them watch some Super Jail.
And please do not give them a beer. That's not something you do to kids.
But it's something we do.
It's something that we do for us. Today, we have a special beer today. Do you want to talk about it?
I will in just a minute. I'm going to
Oh,
pour
I just
it.
noticed. Look at all the little things that are on the beer. Like, isn't that like handcuffs? Little.
Yep. So today we're having Sex and Candy, which is an IPA, and it is by 18th Street Brewery, and it is 7.5% alcohol by volume. Oh shit!
Yeah, if it was me, you would be saying, "That's not how you pour a beer."
I'm trying to pour it like you told me to pour it last time, and it didn't work out.
Okay. I
So
just want you to know mine's pretty good.
shut up. On the beer can itself, because Rick buys cans, there are little tiny pictures of candy, obviously, roses,
Yep.
handcuffs with the fluffy handcuffs,
Ooh, hairy handcuffs.
and a whip, or also known as a cat of nine tails. So that's cool, and it's pink. It's pink and black.
It smells pretty good.
It smells all right.
Kind of got a little bit of a sweet smell to it.
Again, this is 18th Street Brewery's Sex and Candy India Pale Ale, and it's got 7.5% alcohol. We're drinking 1 pint cans. That's all I really know about it. It doesn't have like any kind of description.
You know, I know maybe it's just psychological. I know this is not a candy flavored beer. It's also not a sex flavored beer.
Thank God.
It's not a candy flavored beer, but it tastes a little candy-ish to me.
That's psychological.
It must be.
I just took a sip. It doesn't taste anything like candy. I had candy earlier today, and it doesn't taste like that.
All right. Well, anyway, hey, everybody. How are you? Thanks for joining us for this week. We're going to have an interesting show.
There's going to be a lot of information shared. So if you need to get out your notepad and pen, now would be the time to do it.
I have a question for you here. You know the kind of show we do. We've been doing it for quite a while.
Yeah.
Almost 3 years now. Can you believe we've done this show every week pretty much for almost 3 years?
I'm grateful that we've done this show every week for 3 years because I get to see you once a week.
But I guess I thought when we started the podcast that we would be doing it, but I didn't. I don't know. I'm when I look back on it now, I'm kind of surprised we've done anything for 3 years.
I know. We haven't done much for 3 years.
And that's not
together.
including our past podcast.
Right.
But this epic disaster, the 3 years that we have been doing this, we started it. So I have a question. You know what we do. You know how we do it. You know our show, what type of show we do, which is frequently immature.
Oh, yeah.
But I was thinking, what... so I have a job.
Yeah.
Now, my job, I'm my own boss. I own my company. It's an art-based company.
Yep.
A lot of my clients are kind of sophisticated people, even religious people. I do work for churches. I do work for the medical field.
People with like educations.
But they don't really. I don't promote the podcast to them, and they don't really have any reason to listen to it.
Thank goodness.
But I don't know. I've been thinking recently. Let's just imagine that I decide to go into a different field, a different type of career.
Like what?
Let's say I was going to do something like I wanted to be a therapist or a counselor, something like that. Could I do do you think I could do something like that and still do this podcast?
Yes.
What if one of the clients that I'm dealing with listens to the show and realizes that
you're immature and ridiculous?
And then they're like, really? This is the person that I'm trusting? I mean, what do you... I feel like that could be a problem.
It might be for some people, but I think that if I am giving you advice based on my education, like I've been taught how to give you advice, I'm using that background to do that. I'm not going to use the 12-year-old boy in my head to give you advice. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm still allowed to have a 12-year-old boy in my head.
Well, one of the things that I say often is this podcast is for entertainment purposes.
Exactly.
How you act with your friends on Friday night bowling is not how you act in the office.
No, it's
not how you act at work or anywhere else a lot of times. It's kind of let's get together and blow off some steam and be crazy and silly and everything else.
Sure.
And that's sort of what this podcast is for us, but we record it. Which you probably wouldn't want to do with Friday night bowling.
Actually, I would.
And we put it out there for other people to listen to.
Yes.
So it opens us up for more criticism, I think, and more judgment from people who we encounter on a professional level. And just your business, your job, what if one of your big-time fancy schmancy clients heard the podcast and they're like, you're the one, I heard what you said about whatever, and that kind of has offended me, and maybe I will take my business somewhere else.
I'd lose my job if that was the case.
That's what I'm thinking.
But here's
weird.
Actually, I wouldn't lose my job because the company I work for doesn't operate that way. If the company I work for has a policy, and I learned this in a recent HR seminar, just so you know. The company that I work for has a policy, and if your company doesn't have this policy, they can't pull this shit with you. But if you do have the policy, which is like a social media policy, which a lot of companies don't have yet because they haven't updated their employee handbook, or their policies in a good long while, you can have a company policy that says you're not allowed to do certain things publicly.
Yeah.
Okay, as an employee of the company. So if I say where I work on my Facebook page, and then I go on Facebook and threaten people, I can be fired for that because I am associating myself with the company, and then I'm being a horrible human being on top of that. Right.
Well, I see a lot, and I don't want to go too far into this. This is another show, but I do see a lot of situations where on Facebook someone has called somebody really disgusting names. I mean, a grown up and just been really nasty person.
Sure.
And then the people will go and they'll look up where that person works.
Yep.
And then they will send all of those messages to their company. People have been fired that way.
And the only way they can be fired is if that company has that policy in place prior to that happening.
Yeah.
If they don't, they cannot legally, at least not in this state, they cannot legally fire that person.
Well, okay. So to get a little more specific, and this is not a commercial, and I'm not, I have a personal life that I don't particularly bring into this podcast.
Sure.
But one of the goals that I had to do this year, which I couldn't do because of the whole COVID quarantine thing, was I was going to start teaching meditation.
Right.
And this is something I've studied my whole life, and when you think about meditation teacher, you probably don't want your meditation teacher talking about boobs
or poop.
And beer and poop. It's not a cool thing. And so
why not? Everybody does.
No, I don't have a problem with it. Okay. I have no problem with it.
Okay.
But I feel like in that environment, and believe me, I think that it's wrong to for any teacher like that to set themselves up as being like some kind of holy being or sacred person or something. And I'm not that. I don't want to be that.
You're human.
So this is a tangent I don't want to go off on. But I was listening to Eckhart Tolle, who I love as a teacher, and I listened to a lot of his spirituality. And he was talking about several years ago being with some friends. He was in Denmark, and they got him to smoke pot. And so Eckhart Tolle, like in the top 2 spiritual teachers in the world, toking with his buddies in Denmark.
Why not?
And it was so weird to hear, but he had no problem sharing that. No. He was just like, I'm just me, whatever.
He's always been very open about just being a human being and just trying to get through this life like everybody else.
But I think that that's kind of a cool thing. But at the same time, if I did hear Eckhart on a podcast talking about poop and talking about boobs and stuff, I don't know that he would be in the top 2 spiritual leaders of the world for very long. I think a lot of people are I don't know that they want their spiritual leaders kind of going that low. We do that for entertainment purposes.
Of course.
There's a lot of things that I say on this show that I do because it's funny.
Right.
I say so much, and even stuff that doesn't get on the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
When you and I are together, we'll say funny stuff that will make each other laugh. That we would cringe if anyone else heard it.
And never, ever would we allow other people to hear that crap.
And my wife is the same way. It took her a little while because, my wife is a very compassionate human being. Mm-hmm. And she believes in helping people and not making fun of them
we do.
But we don't make fun of them really. We just do it to make each other laugh. It's the same thing on the show. There's so much stuff on the show I'd never do in real life. I just do it to make you laugh.
I would be
and just having fun.
If anybody heard half the jokes I make to you.
But I just wonder how that will affect something like that I decide to do in the future. Not that I'm pondering leaving or not doing the podcast. I don't know. It's like, what do I say to people that's just like, I heard you talking about this on your podcast. You
just say exactly what you just said. It's for entertainment purposes. It's just silly, stupid fun. And it's just mostly for you and I to have an excuse to get together and make each other laugh. Yeah. And that's all it really is. So, I mean, I intend, and this is something I was going to talk to you about at a later time, but I am about to start recording some guided meditations.
I'm thinking of that as well.
Of my own. Just, because I think I have a pretty good voice. Not when I'm all spastic and crazy like I am right now, but if I've guided meditations before, and people tend to say that I have a pretty good soothing voice for that. So I'm going to look into doing that. And if somebody, were to pick up a copy of my recorded guided meditations and then turn around and listen to the podcast, they might not even know it's the same person.
Well, that's kind of what I'm thinking. It's just like you're trying to help people escape from. Well, see, in a way, that is what we're doing. We're helping people escape from the crap of the world.
Do you think people actually meditate to this show?
No, okay. I don't think so. I hope not. I hope not. All right, well, it's just something, I don't know, that I was thinking about.
If anybody has any thoughts on this or, like, what your opinion would be, like, if you were to find out that your therapist that you've been seeing for 4 years was actually one of us, what would you, like, would you still go to that person? Like, would you still visit them and pay them money to give you advice?
And please, don't answer that until after you've heard this podcast. Because today... we're talking about sex, and we're going to get down and dirty, and not just to be gross, but when you're looking at the facts of sex,
there's
when you're looking at things that happen in sex, and sex is a fact of the world. None of this stuff we're doing is gross or making fun. It's just the fact. It's what happens in sex, and I find it interesting. There's a lot of stuff that I would not even put on my list just because I was uncomfortable reading it.
One of the things that pops into my head when I initially think weird sex facts is from a show that was on HBO years and years ago. I believe it was called Fetish. And it talked about like real people and interviewed real people about certain fetishes. And the one that always just like intrigued me, not that I want to do it, but it was intriguing as to why it's a thing. Other than the gross, nasty ones that I won't talk about and hurtful things that I won't talk about. But this one was like people that like to sit in food.
Oh.
You remember that? Like people would sit in like beans, like baked beans.
I remember there was an internet thing of this girl who would sit on cake.
Yeah.
And I think she would actually fart into the cake.
Awesome.
And and totally ruin the kid's birthday.
I mean, the kid was like, I didn't even blow out my candles.
But
one of them's missing.
And people kind of got off on that. And now, I find it very fascinating how the connections, and not all of it is connections in our brain, but a lot of it is social things, how you were when you were a kid, when you were little, even subconscious things. Who knows? You were something about while you were eating that made you feel really, really, really good and comfortable, and that somehow gets worked into your sexual gratification.
There is a strange connection to that. Like, there is something that I actually love to have done to me.
Oh no, we're not doing that, are we?
Yeah, and it is to have the bottoms of my feet ever so lightly tickled. But I have to be
With spaghetti?
No.
Oh.
I have to be in the right mood because I am extremely ticklish. Oh. So if you just jump in there with feet tickling, I'm going to break your nose with my heel. It's going to happen. But one of the things I love to have done to me is to have the bottoms of my feet lightly tickled. And I've always thought I wanted to incorporate that into sex.
Hello.
And I never have because the person that used to do that to me as a child was my father.
Well, that could be it, though. That might be something there.
No. I don't really want to associate those two memories together.
No, you don't want to, but that's the thing. It's a lot of times it's subconscious, and you know what happens to you when you're a child at a point where you don't even think about sex, but you're making connections in your brain of things that make you feel comfortable and soothed.
Yeah.
And, you know, and that gets mixed up into sex, and who knows? I mean, it all just kind of gets jumbled and whatever. Well, anyway, so speaking of jumbled, I have a bunch of stuff. You have a bunch of stuff.
We're going to get into it.
We're just going to kind of throw it out, and there'll be a lot of kind of weird facts, and I think a lot of mine are like world records.
Okay. That's cool.
Yours are a little more factual.
I've got some facts.
And
I've
lists
got
and stuff. Yeah.
A list of things.
Okay, what should we start with?
Let's go ahead and start with my facts.
You have some sex facts.
I do.
All right, let's find out about some of your sex facts.
These are surprising but true sex facts.
Okay, nice.
I'm not going to read all on this list because there are a lot of them.
We'll read the best ones.
Okay. So number one, the word clitoris. Now that's how it's pronounced. Some people say clitoris. That's incorrect. Stop that. It's annoying.
Well, you know, that was sort of reinforced by that episode of Seinfeld.
There you go.
You remember that?
I do.
Because he was like, he couldn't remember the girl's name, and he was like, she told him it rhymed with a female body part, and so the whole episode he's trying to remember what her name is, and in the end she says her name is Dolores.
Ah, okay. So clitoris, but that's the incorrect pronunciation.
But that's what I'm saying. I think that was reinforced by that episode of Seinfeld. The mispronunciation.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, the word clitoris is Greek for divine and goddess-like.
Well, that's appropriate.
I agree.
Sure.
I agree. I think it's a divine and goddess-like thing. I have one. I should know.
A goddess?
No, a clitoris.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so also married people are more likely to masturbate than people living alone.
Okay, I got some questions here. What do you call masturbation? What is your term for masturbation?
You're not asking me how I do it.
No, I'm saying what is the definition? Your definition
of masturbation?
Yes.
Bringing myself to orgasm.
So yourself.
Yes.
In your definition, is it one person?
Yes. Now, I know there's a thing
people,
called mutual masturbation.
Right, that's what I'm getting at.
That.
There are some people who will say he masturbated me or she masturbated or whatever.
Right.
And it's like, is that what that means? So they're using it to say
using it incorrectly.
Basically digital stimulation.
Yeah.
And is that masturbation?
Mutual masturbation, in my opinion, or my understanding, has always been when two people bring themselves to orgasm together. That's my understanding of mutual masturbation.
What is it when one person does it to the other person?
Well, it depends.
It's
either a hand job or diddling. Okay. I mean, come on. It's one or the other, right?
Okay. I was going with a little more clinical instead of diddling. But I was trying to, I guess, the way the word is used.
It would be manual manipulation.
So when you said married people masturbate more, I was trying to get at, does that mean they do each other more, or they're masturbating single? And I've heard that, and I wonder if it's because when you're, and this may not even be true, when you're married,
Mm-hmm.
man, whatever my wife is cooking smells good.
Smells really good.
Sex and food. When you're married, you potentially get more sex,
Right.
And so when you're not getting the sex, that doesn't even make sense.
No,
you have to do more.
I've found, because I've spent several years alone, several years out of a relationship, several years not sexually active with another human being or any other creature,
Oh God.
for that matter. And I have found that the less sex I have, the less I masturbate. I've also found that the more I masturbate, the more sex I have when I am in a relationship. It's like it's like priming the pump, if you will.
Oh man.
I
Really?
know that's a horrible, horrible way to put it, but it's
All
true.
right.
It's like keeping it in the forefront of your body's mind. You know, it's like keeping it as a priority. Whereas I've been alone for a long time, and I find myself going for months without doing it, without masturbating, and obviously not having sex. And then I think, this is just stupid. You know,
And you start going at it.
just do it every day,
And then
a couple times a day.
The Starbucks manager comes over and says, "Stop that!
Stop
Would you
doing
leave
that."
our store, please?"
And my boss in our meetings is like, "Sherry, put your clothes back on. Come on. Turn that vibrator off. We can hear it on the Zoom."
Okay. we have gone low.
We
We've
went there.
only
We
two
went
facts
there.
and we've gone. All right.
Okay, so next fact is, so the average man,
Average? Is there an average man?
are
Okay.
you an average man?
I would say so. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so the average man has 11 erections per day
Really?
and 9 erections per night. So I guess
I don't know about the night.
the sun
ones,
goes
but
down and you have less erections?
I guess I don't know.
Or maybe they mean while sleeping.
Could be
I don't know.
like night.
So
things.
do you have 20 erections a day?
I'm lucky if I can get a half one going. I don't know where they get those numbers.
So you just have like the occasional semi-chub is what you're
I
saying.
guess I don't know. That number doesn't seem right to me. I don't know where they get that. I would say if you were maybe in your 20s, 25,
Okay.
somewhere, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, possibly.
Possibly, I guess. Okay. So women, next fact, women who went to college are more likely to enjoy receiving and giving oral sex.
Oh,
Not oral reports.
you got their number?
Oral sex.
Any phone numbers there?
I will tell you that I do enjoy giving oral sex.
Why? What does that have to do with college? Is that experience?
I don't know.
They're got a lot more friends they're working on. I don't know.
I don't know. Intelligence?
I wouldn't think you have to be
why do you
smart
have to
to
be
do
smart
that.
to give a blowjob?
I don't think you
don't
do.
think you do.
I've seen some pictures. You don't.
You don't. You really
No.
don't.
No. Okay.
Anyways, let's move on.
Maybe opportunity. You just meet more people, I guess, that way. Yeah, I would say.
People can
You're in
come to their
college
own
and, yeah, a lot more
conclusions.
people.
Yeah. Okay, so number the next one. Number the next one. I'm not doing these in order.
Okay.
This is interesting.
Okay.
A teaspoon of semen.
Oh, my God.
And I'm not talking about like men at sea. I'm talking about
I know.
Come.
Go ahead.
okay,
Come on.
jizz. A teaspoon of semen contains 5 calories. And
That's the diet I'm not going on.
it's rather filling as
No,
well.
no.
I know your feelings about bodily fluids.
I took all of that out of my list. I couldn't even read it.
Rick doesn't like you to even lick him. He doesn't know. He doesn't want any fluid on him that doesn't
You can
come
lick,
from him.
but
and he doesn't even want the ones that come from him
Especially
on him.
not the ones that come from me. I know where they've been.
Exactly. So anyways, and one of the sperms that's in that semen that contains 5 calories, one sperm takes an hour to swim 7 inches.
Oh, really? They're slow.
Because they're so teensy. No, they're so teensy. They're swimming like crazy, and
Oh,
they're
yeah.
going and they're going and they're going.
I saw today when I was doing some of my research that every dude's ejaculate, like for one, could impregnate every single woman on Earth.
That's how many.
Just one time.
That's how many little tadpoles are in there swimming like crazy to get 7 inches in an hour. Anyways, yeah, it's crazy. So the next one is, how do you say this?
We might have a long show today.
I think we're going to, and I'm okay with it because
Get prepared, people.
This is a subject
Get a
I
beer,
enjoy.
sit
Go
back.
find a beer, get some bourbon, whatever.
Maybe we'll cut it in half.
Go find a vibrator and have fun.
Oh no.
So I don't know if I'm saying this correctly, but this next fact is that formicophilia. Formicophilia.
Eating of
No, it's the sexual interest of small insects or worms crawling over one's body.
Get out. That's an actual
That's
thing.
a thing.
No, that's creepy.
That freaks me the fuck out.
Why? Who's got that?
I don't know. I don't know that
goodness.
that would feel. See, okay, I understand the stimulation side of that, like your whole body being covered in small little things happening all over your skin.
Yeah.
Not like that though. That's creepy crawly. That's
Man.
not fun.
Human behavior. It's so interesting.
Very, very interesting and strange. Okay, so
How do you find porn? Would you just go to like a feed
entomology
store? A feed
entomology
store,
website?
a
That's what
co-op,
you do.
a bait and tackle.
Wait, is it entomology or etymology?
Bait, tackle, and porn.
Okay.
Go get your worms and crickets.
I need to buy some worms, please. You going fishing? No.
Yeah.
All right, so next fact. Having sex at least once per week can lower a man's risk of heart disease
I heard that.
by 30%.
Wow.
Lower a man's risk of stroke by 50%, and lower the risk of diabetes by 40%.
How old did it say? Did it say an older person?
No, it just said having sex at least once per week can lower a man's risk.
Okay.
Not lower a man, but lower his risk of those
Sure.
things.
And probably women too.
Yeah, I mean, I know that having sex can clear your sinuses.
Yeah.
I've been stopped up before and just went and had sex just to get my sinuses cleared because I didn't have any Afrin,
Yeah.
nasal spray.
Kleenex is cheaper.
Very much so because
Yeah.
I did pay for that. Anyways, also men with an active sex life are more likely to live past 80 years old.
Really?
So you better get to doing your business.
All of my ancestors did, so they were getting
They were
some.
doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Wow.
Cool.
Good to know.
Next fact. Approximately 1% of people worldwide identify as asexual,
Yeah.
meaning having no strong sexual attraction to either sex.
Oh, really?
That's what asexual means.
I thought it meant you just don't care for sex.
Or it could mean you don't have a sexual attraction for a human being, is essentially what they're saying.
Yeah.
Personally, I am what's called a semi-demi pan. I know that's a lot of words.
I'm not eating at your house again. What?
So demisexual means that you aren't really sexually attracted to anybody until you get to know them and like their company.
Yeah, I'm a lot. No, I'm not like that.
No.
I just say I'm like that. But I've never seen anyone in person out that I'm just like, I want to have sex with that person now.
Right. Me
But
either.
I've seen people that I'm just like they were so cute, or I was attracted to for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
I probably could have had sex. If they hadn't have said no.
That's
But
see, that's why I call myself a semi-demi, is because it's
you're
not
sort of.
yeah.
I know what you're talking about. I
yeah.
think I'm kind of fitting that.
Yeah, I mean,
classification
I've
as well.
been physically attracted to somebody I didn't know before. I don't know that I would actually have sex with them. But again, my sexual attraction to somebody grows as I get to know their personality.
I've known people that have become my friends, but like when I first met them, I was not at all. I thought they were not attractive people. And then as I've gotten to know them, they've not only become attractive, but there were times when I was like almost
Sexually
like
attracted.
a little bit.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. And then the pan part is open to whatever.
You just like noodles.
No, not noodles. No, I won't have sex with noodles. I'm not into that.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. I learned my lesson. Okay, so next one is that
Spit it out.
try it again, Sherry. Statistics show that approximately 1 in every 5 Americans has indulged in sex with a colleague at work.
Really?
Yes.
Have you?
Yes.
Don't tell me. I don't want to know. I'm trying to think. Well, okay, my ex-wife used to work with me, so that technically
There you go.
yes. But
Yeah.
I don't think I'm doing this little weird math thing and going back trying to remember everybody I've had sex with.
Oh, wow. You can count
But
that
no,
on one hand, right?
no, I've not had sex ever with anybody I've worked with.
I've had sex with people I've worked with on
I've
numerous
wanted
occasions.
to. I mean, really, there were people that I really liked, and I would have.
Yeah, I mean, same. I didn't get the opportunity in some cases, but in some cases I did, and I took it.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Sure.
And sometimes it was just sex, and sometimes it turned into more.
Like a raise?
No, because I never have sex with my boss. That's not fair.
Oh.
That's not fair. Okay, so the next one, this is interesting. So, pheromones are a thing.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the aroma of wine can arouse both men and women. Just the aroma of wine.
Interesting.
The scents of many wines are believed to replicate human pheromones, the chemical substances that cause behavioral responses in humans. So something in wine, in vino veritas, I mean, that's in wine is truth, but in wine is also sex. So in vino, what's the word for sex that was Greek? I don't know.
I don't remember.
Okay, anyways. In vino, lots of things.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. So that's interesting. Next fact. Is this getting boring?
No, I like it.
Good. Okay. According to the Kinsey Institute, you know who they are,
Mm-hmm.
right? Okay, so sex people. The average speed of sperm during ejaculation is way faster than me. Let's put it that way. 28 miles per hour.
Wow.
Like you'd have to get in a car to match the speed of your ejaculate.
I got something to talk about that.
Okay. You're going to wait, though?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's on my list.
All right. It's on your list.
Just wait. Just you wait.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting with
I've got a list.
with bated breath.
I've got the world record for that over here.
Do you
Yes,
really?
I do.
So it's more than 28 miles per hour.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dear. All right. Cool. I used to watch
Like
videos.
the NASCAR of jizz.
I used to watch videos of
No.
yes,
No.
yes, of just men's ejaculate to see how far they could ejaculate.
Where the hell are you getting your? What
This was a
Blockbuster
long
did you
time
shop
ago.
at?
Oh my God, this was like back in 2001.
Blockbuster.
I was
that was the wrong one.
I was finding these videos on like Yahoo groups or whatever it was.
So
It
what
was
is it
crazy,
about women? Like
stupid.
when I met my wife, she was watching porn. And she would tell me all this porn she was watching. And I never watch porn. And I don't know a lot of guys that watch a lot of porn. But it's the women that are watching the porn.
I never.
Y'all are getting into the porn.
No, that's not porn. That was scientific
And now
investigation.
she won't watch any of it with me. I try to get her to. She's like, I don't know where to get porn nowadays. Yes, you do.
Lies.
Your top drawer. How about that?
There you go. Oh man, I was never really big into watching porn. When I did watch porn, I watched like amateur porn, like people that were just like really in love with each other and filmed themselves having sex and put it out on the internet. That's the stuff, or just liked each other. They didn't have to love each other, but you know what I mean. It wasn't like two strangers doing the thing. That's just stupid, right? I don't watch that crap.
Only kind of porn I like is a really, really good photography still porn. I don't like movie porn.
Okay, you just like still images.
I love still images, and I'm too much of an artsy nerd. They have to be good photography. I'm criticizing the photography as much as the sex.
So if you can get that out of the picture, then you can enjoy the actual.
Years ago, and it was while we were together, when I discovered Tumblr, and man, it had such fantastic photography porn on, and I was like, "What? It's porn that looks fantastic too."
Well, what's funny is I have porn hanging on my walls. I mean,
you have art on your walls.
I have
you
art.
Don't have porn.
It's not porn. It's just art.
It's art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So moving on. Next fact is intercourse has also been called afternoon delight,
In that song.
dancing the mattress, which is stupid. Rumbusticating.
Okay.
That's not stooping.
Well,
okay.
it's been taught.
We've heard of stooping before.
Yeah, it's been called a lot of things.
Yeah, spearing the bearded clam.
Okay.
That's dirty. Horizontal refreshment. And testing the mattress. I mean, I've tested several mattresses in my time.
When I test the mattress, it's sleeping.
Sleeping.
That's how I test the mattresses nowadays.
Yeah, that's what I go for now is, can I actually sleep on this mattress? Yeah. So next one, the amount of semen. We're going back to the semen, not the people on the boat. Okay. The amount of semen from the Latin for seed. That's where the word semen comes from.
Oh, interesting.
And I have a joke there for that one.
I have one too, but I'm not going to tell it.
I'm going to tell mine.
Okay.
Okay. If at first you don't succeed, suck again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine was a lot like that.
Okay.
Basically the same thing, but
I like my joke.
it is.
Okay.
I'm sure people at home love that dad joke. It was like the ultimate dad joke.
Thank you. The amount of semen produced with each ejaculation is 1 to 2 teaspoons. See, that's why it's filling.
What? I guess it's like, I was like, where does that come from? How do they know? But somebody at some point had sex with a chef, and he's like, hold on, I must measure.
No. See, okay, people have to. Okay.
How many teaspoons am I going to produce?
I am.
That's how all chefs talk with that accent,
yes,
by the way.
Yes, of course they do. Even Michael Simon.
Yeah.
So I know a person who paid his way through college by donating to a sperm bank. Mm-hmm. He's done it so much he's not allowed to do it anymore.
In the teaspoon? He just walked there. He goes, I got 2 teaspoons here.
No, but like you'd have to know how much is average when you collect that much sperm from somebody.
I need to know the details of that, because you go to the sperm bank.
Yep.
So do you go? They give you a magazine. You're sitting.
Yeah.
How is really?
Yeah.
They give you porn. And you just sit there and jack.
Yeah. There's a company in Georgia here that actually is a fertility company, and I'm sure there are several all over the world who actually have a server in their infrastructure, their network infrastructure, which is nothing but porn. And it's so that the gentlemen who go in to get the sperm to either do the thing with the egg and the fertility stuff with their own people or people that want their sperm, I don't know how it works.
That's so strange.
They have something to look at while they're, jacking off into a cup. Yeah. So
it's like you go into a bank to make a money
deposit
donation, and they give you a video of Wall Street.
Right.
Here, watch this.
Now you'll give us more money.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's not how that works. Porn is not about money. Actually, it's all about money. Okay, but I will also tell you that the typical man will produce about 14 gallons of sperm. No,
over a lifetime.
I'm sorry, of semen in his lifetime. Yes.
Wow.
I'm throwing things around just thinking about it. Sorry, that's not fun. Yeah, so that's interesting. So the next one, let's move on.
I do that after one Paula Abdul video. I almost didn't say that joke.
She's hot. I get it. I do.
I was trying to think, because that's just an old reference, and I was trying to think of something young, and then I thought that's just going to make me creepy. So
yeah,
just say it.
Just do it.
Just say it.
Good job.
High
five.
Quick pause. Netflix. There's a documentary. Adam Lambert singing for Queen. Awesome documentary.
Yeah,
that dude.
He's amazing.
I would almost do a gallon for him. He is. I'm not gay, but he's one that would make me go gay. He's a good-looking dude.
He's good-looking
and
talented.
That voice.
Yes.
Holy crap.
Amazing.
And it's a great documentary, great story, very inspiring, and watch it. And it has nothing to do with sperm.
Well, you remember the video that we watched of, now I can't remember her name, the woman who sang the theme song to Titanic.
Yeah, no, but yes.
She watched
Celine Dion.
Yes, Celine Dion. She watched an Adam Lambert performance.
No, she was watching the guy that did Freddie Mercury's voice.
Oh.
And Mark.
Oh, you're right.
What's his name?
Never mind.
Yeah, and she freaked out. He sounds just like Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
Adam Lambert sounds like Adam Lambert. That's what's interesting about this is he never ever tries to be Freddie Mercury. He is himself. But he just fits so well.
Yeah.
And the story, I mean, I'm not going to get into it, but the story's so good, so watch it.
Okay. So let's get back to sex. Sex is more fun. Many researchers consider the skin to be the largest sex organ.
Sure, I can get that.
And the brain to be the most powerful, obviously.
Probably. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so skin is certainly a sex organ. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of erogenous zones. There are a lot of ways that you can stimulate a body without touching anything having to do with genitals or what we would consider sexual.
But why?
But why would you? Anyways, moving on. Okay, so next one. Men who help with housework.
Oh, yeah.
Listen up. Men who help with housework also tend to have more sex.
Get
Guess
laid a
why?
lot more, yeah.
Guess why?
I do the dishes, and
Yeah, I did the dishes. I vacuumed the carpet. I did all the things.
Foreplay right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So this person, Lisa Sparks, she's a porn star.
I got her on my list, too.
Oh, do you really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this is the same record.
I think it is.
But she had intercourse with 919 men in 24 hours.
Yeah.
setting a new world record. That was in 2004. I bet you it's been broke. by
Everybody
now.
had 45 seconds. Every man had 45 seconds.
Did that happen at a fetish ball?
It was
Or
like
a
gang bang thing, whatever.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it was done. There were like two women trying to beat each other.
Right.
Pardon the pun. But but I have seen a video, and I don't know if it might have been the same video, and it's just dudes standing there without their pants. They only get 45 seconds. It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
You're
It's just to break a record. It's for no other reason.
maybe you don't get laid ever, but it's like the most demeaning thing. If you're, I don't know
I wonder
which.
how many fluffers they needed to keep all those 919 men ready to go.
I don't know.
Or did they just like, your appointment is for 11, make sure you're there about 10 minutes early?
That's creepy because you got to take whoever comes there, and it's, I don't know. That's just weird.
What if a bunch of them like actually came in that 45
I'm sure they did. They had to clean it all up. Yeah,
That's weird.
I told you we were going to be really discussing on this podcast.
Gross.
Yeah.
I hope they all wore condoms though.
I'm sure they had to.
Yeah.
I think no, that's a different story. But anyway, yeah, I bet they had to. Yeah.
Weird. Not for me. Okay, so this one I have a story about. So this fact is couples in Greece.
Okay.
Have
Like the country.
Yes.
I mean, we aren't talking sex. You never know.
You never know.
The country
in
of
the
Greece.
country of Greece, couples in Greece have the most sex.
Oh wow.
Approximately
Greek.
160. What does that mean though to you when you
They're
say that?
sexy.
I mean,
people.
Greeks are sexy.
I mean, Greek people are sexy.
Big nose. You know, you hear that theory,
Wait,
right?
Wait, did you just say that?
Yeah, I
Is
did.
that like a racist thing?
It's totally racist.
Can we like delete that?
Yeah.
And besides, I don't think the Greek. You should probably get your racist stereotypes correct, because I don't think Greek people are known for big noses.
But this is where I'm going with this though. There's a story here. I used to have a sex game that I bought with my first husband, and it was a dartboard, and this used to always freak me out. Okay, so there was basically it's a dartboard that you put up on the wall, and there's little sticky sucker darts, right? Okay. And you throw the darts at it, and every single picture was what you had to do, like for the game, right? If you landed on doggy style, you had to do doggy style. If you land on this, you have to do that.
Oh, okay.
Just for fun, you know?
All right.
Just to keep it, I don't know, interesting.
Okay.
But the picture it was all different areas of the world. And the picture of Greece had this man with this huge nose. And I never understood that.
I don't think that's a Greek stereotype. Okay. But the Greeks generally, so there's a Greek stereotype of a Greek having sex, like anal is supposed to be a Greek thing.
That's what it was. That was the square on the game was
but
anal.
Greek men, traditionally, dark skin, because of tan, I mean, they're in like paradise.
Yeah.
And dark hair. You know,
I didn't mean to be racist by that at all. I like a large nose on a man. Yeah. I think it's attractive.
Well, I'm just saying that's kind of overgeneralizing. And two, saying that Greek men are sexy is overgeneralizing. Because there are some Greek men that probably aren't. But Greek women too. Yeah.
All you have to do.
It's one of those things. You know that the food, the music, the people, the land, everything. It's just it's what most people kind of. And I've never been to Greece, but it's what most people talk about as being like really romantic and sexual.
Mean, if you watch My Big Fat Greek Wedding, you will see some men that are Greek and are not attractive.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
But moving on.
Yeah.
Sorry if I offended anybody. It's my
sorry,
bad.
all the Greek people who got offended.
So here you go. This one. This is a incentive.
We love Greek people on the show.
We do. Some people are able to orgasm while working out.
Oh, really? Why would you want to?
Thanks to repetitious core movements.
Really?
So if you're doing crunches,
that's got to be women, though. Women, right?
Men? It doesn't say.
That would be not cool.
At the gym? No, probably not.
You change clothes.
Yeah, you need to.
That's the great thing about women.
You need to clean that treadmill off.
Yeah,
sir.
you can kind of go anywhere, and you don't have to. Not necessarily, no one will know.
Everybody knows this next fact. The inventor of Kellogg's cornflakes, Dr. Kellogg, was an ardent anti-masturbation campaigner. He believed that a healthy diet would decrease a person's sexual thoughts. So he made plain-ass cornflakes.
Yeah.
It's
Who's masturbating to cornflakes, though?
not me. I mean, some people maybe. It's a food thing. Remember?
Well, people like worms and crickets and
you
stuff.
never know. I never said anything about crickets. You did.
Those sexy Greek cornflakes.
With the crickets.
Oh.
Wow. Okay, next fact. Moving on. The average person spends 20,160 minutes kissing during a lifetime.
Wow.
That's 336 hours or 14 days or 2 weeks. Now, I would think that people kiss a lot more than that, to be honest with you. I love to kiss. Like, that's my thing.
But you're not.
I'm not kissing anybody.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So even though you love it, you're not doing it. So
You're
that's
right.
the thing.
Next fact, according to the American Sociological Association, found that the most mind-blowing sex typically comes with being in love with your partner.
Oh.
So better sex if you actually like the person you're having sex with, and even better sex if you love them. It's chemical.
Wow.
It's a thing. Okay, next fact we've got, moving on, trying to go quickly, approximately 70% of men refuse to have sex during their girlfriend's period.
Oh, that's silly.
Isn't that silly?
Yep.
I mean, I can understand not wanting to go down on her.
Oh, okay. That's a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to make this pretty quick. I just got a couple more facts.
No, I don't see
here.
any problem with that. I mean, why not?
Yeah, I don't know. Here, sex hasn't always been associated with sin and guilt. Not always. Pre-Christian religions often regarded sex as a celebration and as a form of worship. Sex was seen as mirroring the sensual power of the gods.
Okay.
That's kind of an interesting one.
Yeah.
I've got one more for you, and then it's off to you to do your bit.
All right.
Nipplegasm.
Hello.
That's a thing. I've never had one.
It sounds like a music festival.
I will say though, because I don't have terribly sensitive nipples.
We didn't need to know that.
Honestly.
No one's out there wondering.
I just don't.
And we haven't gotten that Gmail yet. No.
No one asked.
No one has.
I'm just throwing it out there. But some women have excessively sensitive nipples. And they can have nipplegasms. It means that some women can orgasm through nipple stimulation only.
Nice.
Now, to me, I'm like, could you stop? That's just me.
This is probably personal, but I'm not going to mention names. But I once dated a woman that would have an orgasm if I blew in her ear. Just that.
I've heard of that too.
Isn't that weird?
It
was fun, but
it's a nice feeling.
It's weird.
You're like, this is all I got to do?
All right, I got a few I want to talk about. Are you done? I don't want to step on top of yours.
Now, yeah.
All right, I have a few. All right, so a lot of mine are kind of like world records. I hope we're okay with that.
I'm fine.
I'll try to go kind of quick. All right, the most streakers. Most streakers at one event occurred at University of Michigan in 1998. Ann Arbor police estimated a total of 1,500 people ran naked at the annual Naked Mile Run. 1,500 nude bodies.
That's awesome. That would be so much fun to photograph.
I have a friend that just ran a naked marathon. Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
Just
would you
decided,
ever do that?
I don't know what. No.
No.
I can't even run a regular marathon.
You don't even come out of the bathroom naked.
I don't. That's a clear. I'm like Trump posing before the church. I have to shoot off all these poison gas and everything to clear the way before I get out of the shower. I don't want anybody to see. All right, so I've got the longest kiss. Now, you talked about what the average kiss.
Yeah. The
longest kiss was a couple in Thailand, and it went to Ripley's Believe It or Not. It was a Valentine's Day kiss-a-thon in 2013.
Aww.
And it lasted 58 hours, 35 minutes, and 58 seconds.
I bet they had chapped lips.
58 over a day of kissing.
That's over 2 days.
I can't, no.
So here's my question, though.
You had to win something really good for that.
You can't go 2 days without drinking something.
I guess they had to kind of they may have given a break for eating, go in the bathroom.
Go in the bathroom? Are you going to kiss while you're on the toilet?
While you're peeing?
Or worse?
Yeah, no, I don't know about that.
I think that's called snowballing.
Could be. Speaking of snowballing, the longest ejaculation. This is interesting. Oh, man. Horst Schultz of the United States was recorded ejaculating 18 feet 9 inches.
Yes, that's amazing.
18 feet. Here, there's so much in that that's interesting. The fact that they actually had an event to measure.
These are the videos I used to
This is
watch.
like the sex Olympics.
Yes. I love it.
He holds the record also for height.
Yeah.
So that means he's doing it several times.
Yeah.
It's like, everybody come back tomorrow. I'm going for height. 12 feet, 4 inches high.
Wow.
And speed, 42.7 miles per hour.
Now, my fact said that the average was 28
And
miles
he's killed
per hour.
6 women.
Apparently. Ripped them in half.
And this is interesting, too. A woman has been recorded ejaculating 10 feet.
Yeah.
A woman.
Yeah.
10 feet ejaculation.
Yeah.
She beats me.
Yep.
All right. The most ejaculations for a man in an hour, 16. In an hour.
How?
I don't want to know.
I will tell you that every man,
How?
every single man I have ever been with, once they have an orgasm, are not likely to orgasm again for about an hour.
Yeah. I'm like the groundhog. Next February is when I do it again. Yeah.
Wow.
No, 16 in a day? No way.
Now I'm lucky because I can do it right again.
Yeah,
myself.
the women can go
I'm a
all
girl
day,
though,
yeah.
so I've had 150 orgasms in one day. Just
You might be on this list.
I did it just for fun, just to see.
Well, the most orgasms in an hour. Let's see. The doctors from the Center of Marital and Sexual Studies in California have recorded a case of one woman who enjoyed 134 orgasms in an hour.
In 1 hour.
1 hour.
See, I went all day.
The men just 16, but 134
Nice.
in an hour. So 60 seconds. That's 2 orgasms a second. That's impossible. 2 orgasms a minute. That's impossible.
That's not impossible.
It is.
No, it's not.
Over 2 a minute.
I've done that.
Man.
Are you jealous?
Got a George Clooney poster hanging in her
Rick's a
room.
little jelly.
No, I don't. I wouldn't want to if I could. The official longest orgasm was recorded in 1966 when a woman had a 45-second orgasm.
Do you know that
It involved 25 contractions.
pigs actually orgasm
Really?
for about 30 minutes? That's what they say. And they base that off of uterine contractions.
Oh, it wasn't your dates.
I've never had sex with a pig. No.
I don't know. Okay, the most orgasms in a day. Zara Richardson sets the record with over 400 orgasms in a single 24-hour period.
Christ.
I don't know why.
I
I do know why. I do know why.
Oh.
She has persistent sexual arousal syndrome,
Oh.
which a lot of people think is kind of cool, but they say it's not a pleasant
No.
thing.
No.
So the next record as well, the most orgasms in a day, continual now, 200 plus. This woman named Sarah Carmen, I looked her up. She also suffers from persistent genital arousal syndrome, and she's cute. She's 24 years old. She says she'll often wear herself out by having as many orgasms as she can, just so that they will stop and she can get some peace.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have so much sex to try to calm myself down, I get bored with it. And men I sleep with don't seem to make as much effort because I climax so easily.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And that's boring, in my opinion.
That's what she says.
I've been with women who just climax immediately, and I'm like, okay, A, either you're lying to me,
no,
or B, this is just not fun.
Or C, you're really hot.
There's no effort. It's not fun. No.
All right.
All right.
Dale Decker.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. He can't stop having orgasms. He has up to 100 orgasms a day.
Like he can't stop it.
Apparently. 100 a day. How do you leave the house?
You don't.
You just doing it out in Walmart parking lot or what? I don't know.
That's creepy.
I know. All right, this person's name I have trouble with. She's 42 years old, Tatiana Kotsavinnikova.
Okay.
I'm not going to try again.
Nope.
She has the world's strongest vagina.
Oh my God.
She broke her own Guinness record by hefting a glass ball attached to a 31-pound of weight with her vagina muscles. So I'm assuming she puts the glass ball inside and holds on to it really tight.
Don't put glass in your vagina.
I'm just assuming. I don't know.
Don't do that.
But she can lift 31 pounds that way.
This brings back horrific memories of one guy, one jar.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I'm just saying, who knows how the glass ball, I don't know how large it is, but apparently she holds on to it.
Okay.
And
maybe it's Pyrex.
And don't arm wrestle with her.
No.
It's really, really not good. The world's strongest penis.
Oh, my God.
Mo Ka Wang, of course.
Of course.
In 1995, held up 249 pounds with his penis.
Wow. How? Like, where was it attached to his penis?
I do not know. I don't know. I can't even do that with my arm.
My first husband used to think it was fun that he could actually hold a wet towel up with his penis.
I saw years ago when I was a kid and looking at porn for the first time, and it was like a magazine. I don't remember what the magazine was, but there was a naked dude holding up a car tire with his wang. It may have been like photoshopped. I don't know.
That's ridiculous.
They didn't have Photoshop.
Why would you even? Why would you say? I wonder if I can hold
you just
a tire.
Want to come and go, excuse me, sir. That's not what that's for.
No,
it's not what either of them are for.
No, tires go on cars. Penises don't.
The world's oldest prostitute, 82-year-old woman called Grandma.
No.
Where's my wallet right now?
Get off my lawn.
My money. She's in Taipei. She's believed to be the oldest living and working prostitute. She began 40 years ago after a man she had lived with for 2 decades died.
So she had to make money.
I guess. She stays in business by charging 10 to 20 times less than the other working girls.
Wow.
Grandma, come on, you're worth more than that.
Grandma's worth way more than that.
World's oldest pair of twin prostitutes, Martine and Louise Folkens, started being prostitutes when they were 20, and now they're 70.
And they're sisters?
I saw a documentary a while back about maybe the same girls. There were 2 girls, I think they were twins, prostitutes in Denmark, I think.
Wow.
And they had to, they have to compete with all the young girls.
Yeah.
And they have their own office, and they just, they'll sit there in front of the window with their legs spread, and people walking past. It's like shopping.
Like browsing.
Yeah, it's like the Macy's window.
Window shopping. Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course.
All right, the oldest male porno actor, Shigeo Tokuda.
Okay.
From Japan, obviously. He retired from his job as a travel agent when he was 60 and got into pornography. Now he's in his 80s.
And he's still doing it.
And he starred in 350 adult films. And his wife of 45 years does not know.
Doesn't know?
She doesn't go to the porn stores, I guess.
Apparently. Yeah. So I wonder...
What if she found out? What if she loved it? She's like, awesome.
How come you never told me?
Shigeo, come here.
I don't want to think about having sex with an 80-year-old man until I'm about 80.
Yeah. I never want to think of it.
Well, no, not for you.
The world's oldest virgin. Did you know that Sir Isaac Newton died a virgin when he was 84?
No, he did not.
Never had sex.
Really?
Yeah. He knew about gravity, didn't know about sex.
He was too studious.
I guess. Mother Teresa, she died a virgin at 87.
Yep. Do we really think she was a virgin?
She says so. You got to believe it.
Okay.
But the oldest virgin is actually Clara Meadmore. She died in 2011 at the age of 108.
And having never had intercourse.
Never did it. She decided at 12 she never wanted to get married or have sex.
What is the definition to you of a virgin?
Someone who's never had sex.
Intercourse.
I'm going to go with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So she could have cunnilingus done to her, or he could have a blowjob, and still be considered a virgin.
I was I was going to do a Mother Teresa joke about that, but I'm not going to.
Okay, thank you. We might have a Catholic or two listening.
World's largest gangbang we already talked about. Yep.
919 men. Mm-hmm. Hold on. Just for that
45 seconds per
men.
partner. That's right. They said that the experience is on film, which means I guess you can purchase that, I guess.
Okay.
The world's biggest orgy was 250 couples in Japan. 250 men, 250 women had the largest orgy. It was held in a warehouse with a professional camera crew taking pictures and recording the event. Each sex act and position was choreographed.
Choreographed.
Isn't that interesting?
So they were given instructions.
Yeah, they were all tested free of STDs first. And let's see, featured in the video having sex only with each other and not with any other couple. Well, that doesn't make sense.
So
they're just having sex with each other in front of everybody.
They're just in the same room.
That's not an orgy.
I don't know, but actually, that is an orgy.
Is it?
Yeah, group sex would be having sex with multiple partners.
Well, it's if you really want to know, it's available on purchase DVD.
Okay, then I'm not going to
see the director's cut. Largest masturbation session in 2009. Masanobu Sato. He attended the 2000. This is a real thing. World Masturbate-a-thon in San Francisco. I've heard about this.
Masturbate-a-thon.
Yes. I've seen pictures. He broke his previous masturbating record with a session lasting 9 hours and 58 minutes. 2 minutes shy of 10 hours. He couldn't hold on for 2 more minutes.
Jesus.
Man, well, there's always next year. Masanobu.
10 hours.
10 hours of masturbating.
Jesus Christ. That's a lot.
That is.
I don't think Jesus Christ did that.
No.
Sorry I said his name. But you know what I'm saying.
My mother was always pounding on the door for 10 hours. She would be suspicious for sure.
She'd be like, get out of the one bathroom
Did you
we
die?
have.
All right, the world's youngest parents. Sean Steard of England was 12 years old when he became a father.
Is that the same guy who just recently became a grandfather at
I don't know.
the age of 20-something?
Could be. 5-year-old Peruvian Lena Medino gave birth in 1933, after starting to menstruate at 3.
Yeah.
Wow.
I started at 7, which is very young.
And her father was jailed on suspicion of incest.
Thank
but
God.
was released due to lack of evidence.
Somebody did it.
I mean, a DNA test? It was 33. I guess they couldn't do that.
They didn't have it.
They had to deliver the child through cesarean because her hips are too narrow.
Yeah,
Wow.
she couldn't.
The first man to give birth. Did you know this?
Yes.
First man to give birth. Born Tracy Lagondino, Thomas Beatty finally gave birth to his first child in 2007 after undergoing gender realignment treatments and surgery back in 2002. His wife was...
Realignment or reassignment?
It says realignment.
Okay, then.
He was off a little bit.
He needed to have his tires rotated.
He hummed when he walked. His wife was infertile, so he decided to keep his female reproductive organs and went through an artificial insemination in order to get pregnant. He's since given birth to 3 kids. He is the first legally registered male to give birth.
That's pretty awesome.
It seems like if he kept his organs, he wouldn't be considered male. But I don't know.
I guess they're going on the outer organs.
I guess. I don't know.
Like, he kept his uterus and his ovaries, obviously.
Yeah.
Or at least just his uterus. You don't necessarily need ovaries because you can plant an egg.
Yeah.
But obviously he's a man or identifies as a man, so it's more than likely that he also has a penis.
So I'm trying to think. I guess it was it's none of my business how he got pregnant.
No, it's none of our business. It's just kind of neat.
One night they don't talk about.
He decided that he loved this woman. They wanted to have children together. She was unable to become pregnant.
Oh, it says through artificial insemination. There you go. That was the guy who went to the sperm bank with his...
there you go. So
2 teaspoons.
He carried the baby. That's pretty cool.
Oldest father, Indian farmer Nanu Ramjogi, already held the record for the world's oldest father when he fathered his 21st child at 90 years old.
Wow.
He's married to his 4th wife, and he has no plans of slowing down.
In reality, though, a dead man can father a child. And, and here's why. Here's how. Is as soon as a man dies, you can still harvest sperm from his testicles. You
have seen my honeymoon videos, haven't you? You've watched that. I thought we hit it.
Sorry. And you can impregnate the woman with that dead man's semen.
I want to have that guy's baby.
I mean,
he looks so hot as a dead man.
There was actually like a Law and Order SVU episode about it. Yeah. Interesting.
Okay. In 1300 BC, King Menefta,
that guy,
He defeated the Liberians, and to celebrate, he cut off 13,000 penises from the defeated army.
Oh, dear God.
13,000.
What did he do with them?
I don't know, but wouldn't you think you would have time to run 13,000? While they're at the first 1,000, couldn't you run? An ancient monument to him lists the name of all of the former penis owners.
No.
1,300 penises.
Wait, 1,000 or 100?
13,000 penises.
Wow.
There's 13,000 names, apparently. The guys are like, am I on this list? I think so.
Oh, wow.
All right, most children fathered in the 1600s. Moulay Ismail ibn Sharif, the second ruler of the Monaco Alauite. The Alauite dynasty fathered 1,042 recorded offspring with his harem of 500 wives.
That will happen.
Honorable mention. According to modern DNA mapping, it appears that Genghis Khan had upwards of 16 million living male descendants.
Yes.
Meaning he had to have fathered a similar number as Ishmael.
When you go back...
Genghis Khan got laid.
He did a lot.
A lot.
And most of it was probably rape.
Probably.
But when you go back in genealogy, and once you can trace that line to people like Genghis Khan, Charlemagne, those kinds of people, you will find the descendants on the planet that still exist today, obviously, are immense, because he may have had several family lines, and then they tell two people, and then they tell two people, and then they tell two. Yeah, it's a thing.
True. Most children birthed by one woman. What do you think? Want to take a guess? Russian peasant
48.
Valentina Valisyeva.
48.
Birthed 69 children.
Holy shit. I was kidding. I was joking.
In a total of 27 births. So she had 16 pairs of twins.
Jesus.
7 sets of triplets. And 4 sets of quadruplets.
Did she do it on purpose? Like, was there like IVF and like
that,
fertility stuff going on?
The vagina's not a clown car.
It's not.
Remember that shirt they used to have? I feel at that point it's just like pulling a rabbit out of a hat.
And you do it a lot, and then it's just old news.
The modern record is held by Leontina Albina of Chile, who has mothered 64 children. 55 are documented. That's what it says. I don't know if that's kind of a
that's weird
immigration thing.
I don't think it's immigration. I think
it means that they've got a document of them.
She gave birth to them. Yes.
Largest human penis. All right. So this is interesting.
Okay.
There were a lot of
big penis.
No, there were a lot of I won't say miss. I think the record of large human penis is still growing. Can I say that?
Yes, you can.
The official record is 13 and a half inches and 16 and a quarter inches in circumference. And this was measured in the early 1900s by Dr. L. Dickinson. Get out.
No.
Really?
No.
Dickinson measured the world's longest penis. That's wrong. The record for the longest living penis, and this is what this says, Jonah Falcon. Now, I've heard of this guy.
Okay.
I don't know how,
okay,
but he has a 13 and a half, same as the official record, 13 and a half inch penis. Flaccid, it's 8 inches.
Mm-hmm.
He's
a grower, not a shower.
It actually said that.
No.
Yes. Length is 13.5. Now, a lot of most of the records that it talked about the penis, Jonas Falcon was mentioned.
Here's the thing.
Now, a new guy has come up on the scene.
Oh, he's come up on the scene.
Roberto Esquivel Cabrera.
Okay.
He's a 50-year-old from Mexico, obviously. You can tell from my accent. He made his...
So racist.
Internet... Being from Mexico is not racist. He made his internet debut early this year, claiming the title of the biggest penis on the planet.
On the planet.
At a whopping...
That's not fair.
18.9 inches.
Elephants have larger penises.
Roberto.
He can't have the largest penis on the planet.
His penis weighs 2 pounds.
It's like a baby's arm.
Here, weigh this. Sir, this is a butcher. Can you get that off the scale? He even had an x-ray to prove its validity. He's been very vocal about how it has greatly hindered his basic activities like working,
Yes.
having a romantic relationship.
Yes.
The women run screaming.
No.
Sleeping and even praying. Well, I don't know who's praying.
Okay, so here's the thing. Men who have excessively large penises have a very hard time.
What?
Hold on. Let me rephrase this.
Difficult.
Have a very difficult time getting erect.
Really?
Yes, because your
They
blood.
need a crane.
It's like
They need help.
the amount of blood it takes.
They don't have that much.
No.
Really? That I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Oh, now I'm feeling better. He's gone on record to say he would rather break into the porn industry instead of having surgery.
Okay. So he'd rather make money off his dick than make himself more comfortable?
Who wouldn't? And now, oh God,
Okay.
I still feel so bad about this.
Please do.
The world's smallest human penis.
Yay! We did a show recently where we talked about, what was it, Dinky One?
Yeah.
Is that the name of the
This
website?
This would not even been allowed there. It's so bad they didn't even put the guy's name on it.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, he didn't want to. He
No,
wanted
he's
to
like,
remain anonymous.
Don't tell anybody.
0.39 inches.
Oh,
That's
honey.
almost a half an inch.
That's erect?
I think so. Yes, but you can't tell. No one knows for
No
sure.
one knows.
Either that or it's a pimple. We don't know. No one. They're still trying to find out.
Okay, no offense to guys with little dicks.
No, not at all.
No. But, there are things you can do to
You could-
enhance yourself.
Well, you could go into porn with that too.
You could.
Yeah.
It would be a fetish of a kind,
Yeah.
I think. Now, I used to date a guy
Oh, you talked about this on the
who
show.
had a very small penis.
You talked about. You're not talking about me, are you?
No.
Okay.
No. Your penis is average. We've already determined that in this podcast.
All right. The largest penis to body ratio, a barnacle. A barnacle.
What?
A barnacle's penis is 42 times its own body length.
Yeah.
That's why there's so much barnacle porn. There's a lot.
There's a lot of
That's
barnacle
what I always
porn.
ask. I always ask for barnacle porn when I go to the store.
It's all over the coast. Get it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rorqual whales have penises that average 10 feet
Jesus.
and as much as a 1 foot in diameter.
Wow. I mean, whales are big, though.
Hippopotamus and elephants only have 2 foot penises.
See, I told you that guy who said he had the biggest penis on the planet was lying.
What?
He had the biggest human penis.
That's
perhaps.
those for humans. Largest human vagina, Scottish giant Anna Swan. Now, I don't understand this. She married a giant husband,
Okay.
and they had a giant baby.
They had big babies.
And the baby's head was 19 inches,
Holy shit.
and it all went through her vag.
Poor baby JJ.
So they're assuming that she had a vagina of 19 inches. But they kind of stretch. Well, I guess it has to come out, so same thing.
Well, okay, here's the deal. When a woman's giving birth, obviously her vagina does stretch and it becomes more pliable and the hips spread and all of that, to have a vaginal
Sure.
birth. But even my sister,
Yeah.
who had a 10-pound, 3-ounce baby, her doctor told her to schedule a cesarean section to give birth because they thought he was going to be about 11 pounds. And her body, which is very similar to mine, was not capable of having that baby, or they didn't think it would be a good idea.
Yeah.
So if you think about that, you're talking, I mean, he only had a normal size head. He was just a big fat baby.
19 inches, though.
That's huge.
That's big. Well, her husband was also a giant, and the baby was a giant. So, big giant family.
Yeah.
And I've heard, you can read in a lot of children's books and stuff, that giants love big vaginas. They do.
Is that a thing?
It's in all the kids' literature.
So
Giants
one
love-
of my jokes, I'm going to go ahead and put it out there, is it's like throwing hot dogs down a well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. The most penises. So the guy's never disclosed his name, but he wrote a book called Double Header: My Life with Two Penises.
I've heard about that.
It's a tell-all book on the subject of being affected by diphalia, a rare condition that leaves you with two separate but functioning penises. I can barely deal with one.
That might be fun.
I don't need another one. I'm just gonna say this. I'm not trying to be mean, and I don't want to go down this whole different path. But so there was a series that ran for a while. These two girls that were Siamese twins.
Yes.
And cute girls, and they're still they go out and they had jobs, and now they're getting old. I believe they got married, but I kept thinking, how do they get married, and then how do they make love and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And maybe this isn't the solution, but I feel like one guy and two penises might have been perfect for them.
It might have
But
been.
I don't know. Maybe they both have different tastes in men.
That would be bigotry, wouldn't it?
Could be.
Is that the word?
I don't know.
When somebody marries two people.
I think they would allow.
They're two separate people, though.
I think they might, for that, they might allow a special thing for that. I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
The Icelandic Phallological Museum in Reykjavik, Iceland has, I have trouble saying that word, has over 300 penises in their museum.
Yeah. I've seen pictures of that place.
Including one that belongs to a human.
Yep.
I saw another documentary about a dude that wanted to be the first human penis in that museum. He was going to donate. And so there were like 4 or 5 guys that wanted to do that, and one guy wanted to do it while he was alive. He was like, I'll let you cut it off now.
Yeah.
I don't need it. I don't use it.
Yep.
But they were like, no, because you're crazy.
It's awkward.
We don't want crazy dick.
We don't want to own your penis while you're still alive.
So many of my college dates said that.
We don't want crazy dick.
We don't want crazy dick.
Or I thought it was we don't want crazy Rick.
Yeah, same thing.
Okay.
In 1300 BCE, Egyptian pharaoh Menefta.
Did we already talk about
We already
it?
did. He cut off 13 penises.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was a pharaoh.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he cut off a lot of dicks.
A lot of penises.
Mm-hmm.
So he could start his own museum.
He could.
World's longest lasting erection. A man in Iran decided to express his love for his girlfriend with a tattoo. So he put an M on his wiener.
Yep.
And not only that, because that was that was the letter of his last name, first letter of his last name, but he put on some words of wisdom. And I don't speak Iranian. I'm sorry. Baro Be Salamat. Baro Be Salamat, which translates "good luck on your journeys."
Wow. Wow.
He's not planning on you sticking around, ladies.
No.
Romantic? No. Stupid, because one of the side effects was he has a semi-erection that won't go away.
It won't.
From the tattoo.
I've heard
I don't
about
understand.
that.
I don't want tattoos, but I certainly don't want one on my wang.
My step-grandfather had a tattoo.
By the way, I'm teaching meditation
on his penis.
from now on. And if you're interested, sign up.
He did it for a bar joke.
Tattooed his wiener for a bar joke.
So the tattoo on his wiener says your name.
Oh.
And he would make bets at the bar and said, I bet I have your name tattooed on my dick. He also had a tattoo. He was a tattoo artist, by the way.
Yeah.
He also had a tattoo below his knee, like on the calf area of his leg. And it was like a rooster on a hangman's noose. And he used to bet people that he had a cock that hung below his knee.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're winding it down, people. I swear, we're almost done. These are great facts, though.
This is fun.
I like it.
I'm having a good time.
But you might want to pause the podcast and get a little sleep. Come back the next day. Get some more. Longest gap between a first twin and a second twin being born, and I've often wondered this.
Yeah.
87 days.
What? No.
So you have a baby. 87 days later, you have another one.
That's almost 3 months.
Yeah. I don't know why that would happen. I'm sure it's for a medical reason. It's like one of them's like, no, I'm too busy. I'll be back out later. Just leave me alone.
He's like, I
got a few things to do.
5 more minutes, Mom.
I just wanted that asshole gone. Now I want to relax.
Now I got the womb to myself.
Yeah. All right. So you know what this is. The world record for queefs.
Oh, God.
I didn't write it.
Why did you do this?
I didn't write it.
Why are you bringing it up?
93 queefs in 1 minute.
Jesus.
No.
No.
Who else but the Howard Stern show?
Uh-huh.
The queen of queefs' name was Abby. If you don't know what a queef is, I
Please explain.
invite you to look it up.
No, please. I'd like you to explain now for our listeners.
It's basically a
Go ahead.
it's a vagina fart, basically.
Okay.
She impressively flatulated an average of 3 queefs per second, which is hard to say.
3 queefs. What are we doing?
That's why I didn't watch the Howard Stern show.
What are we doing?
Holy crap.
Wow.
All right, let's move on. The world's largest natural breast. Now, I have here a picture I'm going to show you. See the picture right there.
Those are huge. Those
These
are
are
uncomfortably
natural.
huge.
Norma Stitz. Yes.
Of course.
That's her name.
Yeah.
She's a size 102 ZZZ. Triple C's, 102 triple Z's.
Norma's Ditz.
Stitz.
So
ST
enormous tits.
Yeah.
Is what? Yeah.
Well, that's obviously a porn name, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got that, why not make money off of it?
Because that's not healthy. I'm sorry. That's not
That's
healthy.
who she is, I guess. Each one of her breasts weigh 56 pounds and has its own job.
and pays rent.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Wow. It is her stage name, her to sound like enormous tits. Her real name, it's not here. It was
Good.
on another one that had her real name. There's a woman going by the name of Maxie Mounds who claims to have the world's largest surgically enhanced breasts with a mere 42M sized bra.
That's nothing.
But yeah. All right, 2 more. These are actually a little more mild. The most dangerous sex position that you can get into is the cowgirl.
What is that?
That's girl on top.
That's dangerous?
It's dangerous because you can break the penis.
This is true.
Yep.
I've heard awful, awful stories.
I like that.
I know
Not
you
penis
do.
breaking, but it's worth the
No, it's
risk.
not worth the risk.
Heck yeah.
I mean, it can be fun if you're careful.
Uh,
Just don't go hog wild.
It depends on the size of the cowgirl. That's all I'm going to say. I think it can be safe. I never had a problem with it.
I mean, if you've got somebody doing gymnastics on top of you, you might want to ask them to be a little more careful.
Yeah, you just be careful.
Yeah.
I almost didn't do this one, but I feel like I should. The most dangerous sexual act on earth.
Autoerotic.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
So strangling is not the most.
I don't even think that this is considered a sexual act. This is just the most dangerous thing you can do. I'm not going to call it a sex act because it's not.
What is it?
Blowing into a woman's vagina.
No, don't do that.
It can cause emboli, which can kill you in 30 minutes.
Emboli.
Emboli? Okay.
Yeah.
It just says don't ever do it. It
No.
can cause a blood clot, air bubble, all kinds of stuff, and it can cause death.
Yeah, don't do that. Also, I read an article the other day.
And on a down note there.
Well, I'm gonna take it lower.
Uh-oh.
Literally, I read an article. I like to read about true crime and stuff, and I was reading about these young frat boys who got sentenced to prison for using an air compressor. And putting it up one of their frat brothers' rectum
Recti, yes.
while he was passed out. And injured him severely.
I have read stories about people who worked in emergency rooms with women, and this could be a man thing too, but women who have who thought it was funny or whatever they were doing to get off with a Coke bottle.
Yeah.
Which is dangerous because you create suction and then you
Yep.
can pull out your insides, and that's not cool.
No.
Either it's just don't put a Coke bottle in any orifice except your mouth, and even that's debatable.
Don't put it all the way in
Let's
your
just
mouth.
Diet Coke,
Let's
maybe.
just, maybe diet.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
I have a question for you.
Okay, I'm done with mine, by the way.
Thank you.
Those are my sex facts.
Good times.
And records. Now you know if you didn't know there's a lot of things about sex you didn't know that you know now.
Yeah, and you may not have wanted to, but you're still listening.
I think everyone wanted
So
to.
it's on you.
Yeah.
So I would like this to be our truth or dare
Oh, okay.
section. Without dares, I just want truth.
Okay.
What is like something you would admit about yourself sexually? Either an anecdote that happened to you sexually or something about you sexually that you are willing to share, because I'm about to share something.
I don't know what that means.
Just give us something that as a kid you were either embarrassed by but now it's like no big deal, or something embarrassing that happened to you sexually, something like that.
I don't even know.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, I have to think about it.
I mean, obviously, something you're willing to share. I'm not going to drag something out of you, but
I can't even think. I know there was a couple times when I knew that I probably shouldn't get sexual with someone, and I did, and then I wish that I hadn't.
Okay.
That's a boring one. That's all I can think of right now.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Okay.
I don't have a lot of that kind of thing that I know of.
I have a story that I was having sex. I was involved in sexual intercourse with a gentleman. Well, he wasn't really a gentleman. He was kind of an asshole.
It sounds like a Monopoly game.
But he broke my tailbone.
Okay.
During doggy style sex.
Okay. I was going to say, how are you doing it? Right.
And unfortunately, I couldn't work for about a week. Like I couldn't. I literally just went straight to bed. Like I just kind of fell forward on the bed and fell asleep. Like as soon as I could, because I knew something was seriously wrong, but I didn't want to admit to it. Okay. And then the next morning, I could not get out of bed because I was in so much pain. Wow. I didn't go see a doctor for about a week. When I did, he told me it is broken. It points now out backwards.
Wow.
And he said the only way we can fix it is we have to re-break it. And I said, no, I'm good. So I currently have the coccyx of my spine. It points backwards.
And it wags funny when you whistle.
It does. I get super excited when I see dogs. I'm like, and then my butt wiggles. Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. I cannot think of one.
Huh.
I can't think of one.
Really?
Yeah. I wish I could.
I can think of one of yours, but I'm not going to put it out.
Huh?
Because it's not mine to say.
I don't even know what that is.
It's fine. It's not something you would want to share, but I just think that...
Well, glad you mentioned it.
It's funny that people who are close share things with each other that we think are funny, but we're not willing to actually put it out.
I wish you told me before the show, because I would let you know whether it would be okay.
No, this wouldn't be okay.
Oh.
Okay, how much longer do we have? Are we way over?
We're already over, so people are either listening or they're not. So let's just keep going.
All right,
so
I've got some 10.
We'll do one more thing, and then we'll close it down.
Top 10.
If you're listening and you're tired of it, we're almost done.
Promise.
No more sex.
All the sex. 10 more minutes.
All right.
Maybe. Not even. Anyways, I've got top 10 men's fetishes.
All right.
Sexual fetishes.
I don't have any big fetishes, but I'll let you know if I do.
So the actual definition of a fetish is that you cannot be gratified sexually without something.
But I think it's mutated into a totally different thing, which is just something you really, really, really like.
Right.
That's kind of weird.
Right. Yeah. So the word fetish is very similar to the word racist in that it doesn't stand for what it actually is anymore. Okay, so top 10 men fetishes are 1, feet. Yeah. That's like the top one. I probably shouldn't have started there. Probably should have started. Anyways.
See, I don't know how that is a fetish. I think if I would say attractive feet are cool. I mean, women that take care of themselves
are nice.
That's nice. I wouldn't call it a fetish, but it's like it could be hot, just like a face, or hair or something.
And to be honest with you, I think a lot of women, they don't have foot fetishes, but they have shoe fetishes. Yeah. So it's the same area of the body, obviously, but shoes are a thing.
But I know some people who just get really grossed out and freaked out by feet.
In general,
So that would be like that. They couldn't even relate to that.
Totally opposite. Yeah. Put your socks on before you.
But I remember, and this was like when I was in my 20s. I was watching. I got a free thing to the Playboy channel years ago. I don't even think does the Playboy channel still exist?
I don't know. I don't have
and so that was like a big thing. Porn on TV, awesome. And so I remember watching this thing, and this dude, he was having sex with his wife, but he had to put one of her shoes on top of her butt while he was doing it. That's how much of a foot fetish he had.
He wanted to watch her shoe.
He needed a shoe to actually have the sex.
Interesting.
Now that's a fetish.
That's a fetish.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched that show I talked about on HBO.
I really hope somebody's out there not going, I saw that. I remember, or that's me.
He's
talking about me. I remember that video I did.
The guy with the balloon fetish. Do you remember him?
Popping it or just like balloons?
All of the above.
Or doing it with balloons?
All of the above.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. It was. If you ever get a chance to watch an old HBO series about fetishes.
Oh, yeah. Maybe that's what I was watching.
It was.
No, I think it was actually a pay thing. I kind of remember.
This is from this is from 2003 that
No,
it was
I
on?
remember now. I think my wife went out of town. And I was just like, I never did that. I was just like, she's good. I'm gonna actually order the Playboy channel. So I ordered like a block of it. It was the worst.
Yeah.
It actually was edited. They wouldn't show actual penetration. That's like, I mean, I think
What's
you could
the
do
point?
that. I think you can do it now, but then you couldn't even do that, even if you
Weird.
paid for it.
Weird.
So that was a letdown.
That is a letdown. All right, so let's get back to these top
Watch
10
a
men
guy having sex with
fetishes
shoes.
With shoes. Number 2 is spanking or sensation, like biting,
Mhm.
that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Number 3 is role playing.
These are just dudes.
It says top 10 men's fetishes.
Okay.
And I know that
I know
some
a woman who was
women
into that.
have these
Yeah.
kinds of fetishes as well, but this just happens to be a list of men's fetishes.
I've been involved in some women who wanted to get violent, and I was like, I'm uncomfortable. I can't do that.
So, like, violent how?
Just being a little controlling and like even hitting and making like.
So they wanted
I've been,
to be domineering over
yeah,
you.
even saying make a mark, and I was like, why? So you can go to the cops the next day and go, look what he did to me. No.
Oh, they wanted you to be domineering over them.
Yeah, to make a mark on them.
Right.
To like, bite or hit
Yeah.
or spank hard or something.
Yeah.
And that's very weird. I mean, I'm not going to say weird because some people like it. And if you like it and do it, fine. But for me,
Be safe about it.
it was because there's got to be some trust.
Yeah.
Because again, if things go wrong and then they go to the cops and show them, so look what
Yeah.
he did to me.
Yeah.
And then you're like, she told me to. And they're like, yeah, sure, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
But for whatever reason, some people like that. I mean, their sexual gratification center is really close to their pain center, and they kind of overlap each other, and so some people really like it.
I've known some women who
And men.
and men. I mean, it's both. Yes, of course. But I've personally known some women who took it over the top.
Oh,
like
yeah.
they wanted to be hurt, like physically hurt, to the point where, like, they wouldn't let their children see their bodies afterward.
Yeah.
Like scary stuff.
Well, I know stories about women who have asked men to do like a rape scenario with them.
Yes.
And I was reading like a sex column where they were writing to a sex therapist, and the sex therapist was like, no, don't. She has problems.
Yeah.
That's over the top. That's not right, because there can actually be some problems and some trouble and some legal things. Don't get into that.
Don't do it.
She might need to look at some therapy options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, I will completely separate those two things. There is a rape fantasy,
Yeah.
and there is a pain fetish.
Yeah.
Those are two totally separate things. I'm sure they can combine into one in some people's instances, but those are totally separate things.
And as long as it's legal and you like it and it doesn't hurt anybody and no one's getting hurt, go for it.
It's up to you. Okay, next one, the role playing thing. Now, I have some experience here, just a little bit. Like a friend of mine was on. Do you remember? Okay, when it was okay to be on Craigslist and find sex partners on Craigslist
right.
years and years and years ago. There was this guy who kept hitting her up, and he would send her pictures of himself in a diaper with a bottle, and he wanted her to change his dirty diaper.
Okay. Was it actually dirty? Because that would ruin the moment.
That's what he wanted her to do.
Oh, my God.
He wanted her to actually change a dirty, like soiled diaper.
No.
Yeah. And feed him from a bottle. Yeah.
Okay.
And she did not interact with that person.
Well, now I was a theater person, and I knew a lot of theater people, and I knew some people who told me that in their relationship they did role play. They would do characters, whatever. I just don't know how that happens, because it's not the real people. And do you not ever just stop and start laughing?
Of course. course. I think that's the fun of it. Like if I say, okay, tonight when you get home from work, pretend you're so and so, and I'll be so and so. So the minute you walk in the door, it's like we're playing a scene, right? But obviously we know who we are, so we can giggle about the things that we do that are funny. We can, stop each other if it gets too weird. Okay. That kind of thing. I mean, it might be fun.
I could never do it. It just doesn't work for me.
No, but you're an actor.
I'm boring sexually.
Okay. So the next one on the list is domination submission. That's another fetish. Mm-hmm. The next one is voyeurism and exhibitionism.
Yeah. I think I would have that.
Which one would you say you are? Voyeuristic or exhibitionist?
More voyeuristic. I could be a watcher.
Yeah.
So and I've never done this. Don't have an interest in doing it. Now that I'm thinking about who was the preacher that just got Falwell guy.
Yeah.
He wasn't really a preacher, but kind of. Somebody was having sex with his wife and he was watching. Mm-hmm. I don't know that I would want to watch anybody having sex with my wife, but that's sort of a dude thing, and that's porn, really. You're watching, right? You're not participating, really.
That was my second husband's thing. That was his thing big time.
Just kind of standing back and watching is kind of interesting, voyeuristic. Yeah. Or, I've told the story about, we won't go into it, but being able to, when I had neighbors who didn't have curtains and I could see in the room and I could see them having sex.
Yes.
I was like, why not watch it? You
can see it.
It's there. You don't get caught. They don't care, really. They keep waving at me, so why not?
Inviting me over.
No.
No, don't come over. No. Just watch. I will say that years and years and years and years ago, when I was actually cute, I had sex in a phone booth, a glass, phone booth.
Superman.
No. Oh. With a friend of mine in Berkeley, California.
Really?
Yeah.
Just people passing by?
Yep.
Weird.
I mean, it was nighttime.
Oh.
And so the people passing by, I mean, we were all kind of partying. It was like in the university, by the university, and it was by the theater where Rocky Horror was and all that. And we had just been to Rocky Horror. So it was like 2 o'clock in the morning from a midnight showing. So, yeah, it was all good. It was fun. Number 6 on this list of 10 things is restraints. Okay. I would think that would go with domination, submission. But, you can humiliate and dominate somebody without restraining them.
Okay.
Number 7, anal play. People like butts.
I don't consider that a fetish. Anything that's with your body. Is oral sex a fetish? I mean, anything it's all sex on your body, hand job, whatever.
Right.
Why is anal a different?
Fetish. Yeah.
Why is that a fetish? It's just like if you like that, you like it.
Yeah.
And if you're gay, you don't have a lot of choices. So that's what you do. It's not a fetish. It's just what you do. I don't consider that a fetish.
Okay.
Sorry.
Next one is
we'll strike that from the record.
Strike it from the record. Next one is multiple partners.
There's your fetish.
There's a fetish.
I think. Orgies.
Yeah, inviting other people
that's
into
a better,
your sex.
To me, that's a better fantasy than it is a realistic thing. It's more trouble real.
I've done a lot of it myself. My second husband and I were swingers, and we did a lot of that, and inviting people into our sex life. And I will say that sometimes it can be fun, but for the most part, it's trouble.
Yeah,
it just is. It depends on who you invite.
It's better as a fantasy. It just works better as a fantasy.
True.
Yeah.
The next thing is really gross. It's non-humans.
Oh, that's not a that's illegal. That's not a fetish.
That's disgusting.
Don't
in
even
my
mention
opinion.
that.
It's disgusting. And fetish objects. So, what are fetish objects? Do you think? I don't know. Could a microphone be considered a fetish
Probably.
object?
Whips.
Okay.
I can think of some, not offhand.
Paddles, things like. But that all kind of goes into the bondage and the BDSM and the
But masks. Well, it's still kind of BDSM. But I mean, I'm just trying to think of things that people like to have around. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I can kind of understand it.
I'm surprised, though, in this entire podcast, which is almost over, just, hold on for another minute, we haven't discussed furries.
It's kind of a new thing, though, isn't it?
I think so.
I'm seeing it more, and not only that, but seeing it more, I don't know if I would say accepted, but people are more open about saying that.
Maybe that's what they meant by non-humans.
It could be, but you're still human.
Yeah, you're
Even if
still a human. Just don't have sex with an animal because they can't consent, and that's not cool.
Yeah, I don't know what all that's about. That's
just weird. But furries are fun.
I guess.
Because you can be dressed as a furry and have sex outside and not get cold.
Yeah.
Right?
Again, it's
if you're into it,
whatever you want to wear.
Do it.
It doesn't matter if you're wearing fur or
it's
anything.
Clothing.
It's
it's
you
fine.
like to dress up like Batman, a superhero fetish.
If you want to purr while you come, that's fine. That's weird. Don't ever.
Some people like it. All right. Well, I think we've done a lot of sex. There's plenty of more we can do. I think we should do occasionally. We might do another one down the road. Maybe not this long.
Yeah.
This is quite a while.
Sorry, guys.
This is the world record for this is our longest.
Is it really?
Podcast.
How long has it been?
We're now at about an hour and 40 minutes. It's almost 2 hours.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
sorry,
it's a long
guys.
one. It's
Sorry.
That's a long one. We should do like the fetishes of like how many euphemisms can you do? Well, let's run it down. Let's get rid of it. Let's put it to
get rid of it.
Let's throw it out.
Let's be done with it.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's put a stop to it. Brewski, let's talk about the beer real quick. What do you think?
So the beer is, once again, it's been 2 hours now. You forgot what we're drinking.
I forgot what we're drinking.
Sex and Candy, which is an IPA by 18th Street Brewery. It has 7.5% alcohol. And to be honest with you, I have really moved on from IPAs. Like I used to be super into IPAs and super hoppy beers, and I really just don't even purchase IPAs anymore, even if just for whatever reason. And this is not bad.
I was going to say, if you're going to get an IPA, get this one.
This is the one
That's
to get
good.
because it's not super hoppy, and I thought it would be when
did
they
too.
said what hops were in it.
Yep.
But it's really not. And it does, I don't know if it's psychological or not, but it does have a sweet note.
It's got a little bit of sweetness to it. I don't know
does.
what all's in it, but we can look it up later maybe. But it's enjoyable. The bitterness is not quite there. It is a little bit, just not. It doesn't go to the.
It's not like an IPA that for a while their IPAs were all the rage, and they just tried to get them super hoppy, and the hoppier the more it's so hoppy, all that, and that's just not okay. This is not that.
It was fun. It's got a lot of notes in it. It's very very textured beer. It's an interesting beer.
Ooh, you're using big words.
I don't know anything about 18th Street Brewery, the brewing company. It was under a label that said Black-owned brewers.
They are out of Hammond, Indiana.
So it's a Black-owned brewery, apparently. That's what the label said, I guess.
Cool.
So I don't know what that has to do with
them.
the beer, but they make good beer. So we did like it. You want to give it a number?
I'm going to give it a 3.5.
That's what I'm giving it. We're both giving it a 3.5.
Yeah,
That's
because it's an IPA, so I'm not about to give it a 4 because it's an IPA. But it's a good IPA.
It's a good beer for this. I'm feeling a little. I don't know if you're feeling buzz. I'm not buzzed, big buzz. I'm not drunk. I'm not impaired, but I'm relaxed. It really relaxed me. So you probably
maybe it was the conversation.
The conversation, the company. I'm relaxed. I'm just really laid back.
Thank you.
But anyway, I had fun. I thought it was fun. I don't know if our listeners have thought it was fun, but
if they're still there,
we don't care. We never do this for our listeners.
Never.
Do we even have listeners?
We love you, but
No, I'm just kidding. It's something we've been wanting to do for a while, and the great thing about podcasts is you can pause
and come back to it,
or just if it sucks, you never have to
turn
listen
it
to the
off
rest of us
entirely.
But we've almost done 2 podcasts in one, and that's unusual for us. So we will put a stop to it. Look us up on Facebook. Look us up on Instagram. When we're on Twitter occasionally, and you can send us email at thisepicdisaster@gmail.com. We're still looking for story submissions for our Halloween show this year.
Halloween stories, horror stories. Don't go too super graphic with sex or gore.
But you can. R-rated is kind of what we want to go with.
Keep it at
we'll
R.
Keep it at that. Scary. Let's make it scary. It can be fun scary. It can be
Sure.
happy scary. It can be funny scary. Or it could just be creepy scary. We'll probably write some, but we're looking for some. It'll probably be the last week of October, but we usually start collecting the stories in September.
Yes.
So we'd like for you to put stuff together. If you have any questions, just send an email to thisepicdisaster@gmail.com. They don't have to be long. 5 minutes, 10 minutes if you want.
If that.
15 if you're really good and you want to keep going. That's fine.
Keep
like
it
we
up.
did today.
Yeah.
But yeah, please do, because that's going to be our Halloween show this year, and we might do something else fun for Halloween. But hope everybody's safe on this quarantine. We're kind of coming out of it. I sense we're coming out. We went, my wife and I went to a restaurant today for lunch. We had some sushi and ramen, and restaurants are packed.
Did you go to Brush?
No, we went to Sushi Avenue, my favorite sushi place.
All right.
And the people are coming back. Masked, a lot of masks wearing, but but this, social distancing, tables, it's usually like every other table, but it's packed. People are starting to come back. So that's good. I'm glad to see it. And hope everybody out there is having fun and getting to celebrate the fall that's starting up soon.
Yay. It'll cool off.
Yeah.
Woot.
Atlanta will cool down. All right.
Goodness.
Think about these sex facts. If you've got any that
Just
you
think
want
about sex.
if you want to share some sex facts of your own,
Please do.
just post them on Facebook. And
Also share
remember,
your embarrassing sex facts.
I will be teaching meditation. And if anything I said during the show offends you, then you don't have to meditate on it.
No, please don't.
All right. We'll see you next Monday.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
This is a Violet Jester Media podcast.